7:14 now this morning, President Biden addressed the nation on the presidential immunity ruling by the Supreme Court, saying it undermines the rule of law. Joining me is political science professor William Muck from North Central College. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So couldn't President Biden technically use this ruling in his own favor if he's sued down the road on immigration or really any other issue?
This is a really important point because a lot of the focus has been just on Donald Trump and what does this mean for Donald Trump and the lawsuits. But the reality is the Supreme Court has said they are thinking for all time, for the long haul here. And so this means it not only impacts former President Donald Trump, Joe Biden, but all future presidents, right? And so the court was saying here they essentially want to stop any kind of litigation against presidents. So absolutely, right? So I mean, Joe Biden came out against this, but the reality is all presidents will benefit in the sense that it's going to be much, much more difficult to hold them accountable.
Democratic pundits are saying that this gives the president the power of a king, but there's still a lot to be hashed out here, right?
Oh, absolutely, right. And I think there's something to that, right? So what the court did yesterday was pretty extraordinary. They are expanding the power of the presidency. They are giving a lot of discretion to the presidency, but we still need to get into the details. We still don't know how to understand what is an official versus a private act, right? And so what the court did is they kicked it back down to the trial court to say, let's begin that process specifically on the issue of Donald Trump's case. But there's so much we don't know. You know, what counts as official, what counts as unofficial, you know, our conversations with your fellow cabinet, all of those details still have to be hashed out. So it's the beginning of the process, but there's much more work that has to be done.
And let's go over two scenarios here with this ruling. Let's say that President Biden wins re-election. What impact could it have?
Well, I think for Joe Biden, as you mentioned in the first question, right, he's thinking about what potential lawsuits might he face regarding immigration and other things. And I think the court was worried about a plethora of investigations that would come after presidents. So I think for all presidents, they're a little more at ease. But the reality is I think it's less interesting if Joe Biden gets to be president or continues as president, because I don't think there's as many potential lawsuits. The really, really interesting one is Donald Trump. But certainly all presidents will benefit from this.
Yeah, and let's go over that second scenario. Let's say Trump wins the election. What could come of the ruling?
Well, I think this is where it gets interesting, right? So, you know, Donald Trump, when his lawyers first put this theory out, I don't think his lawyers even thought the court would approve of it. It was sort of a Hail Mary. So this helps him dramatically. So the two federal cases, if Trump wins re-election, he can, one, argue he's immune, or he can put those investigations down. All other investigations, he can make this blanket argument that I enjoy immunity for my official conduct. It means that he's got lots of immunity looking backwards, but I think the other angle is looking forward. Trump could be empowered to say, hey, I'm going to use the power of the presidency to pursue my political agenda, but also maybe some grievances. And I think that's where some of the concern comes. Would Donald Trump use this to his own political advantage, right? And again, it's so early in the process, we don't know, but the court gave a lot of power back to the office of the presidency yesterday.
Professor William Muck, thank you for your time this morning.
Thanks for having me.